But it's quite thick, why the packet so much?
Because it's quite a big sachet.
Yeah. It's not for one cup.
There's no cup.
I thought the Thai tea Superman.
No, it's not. We are coming with a new one. There's tea. Milk tea coming up.
I'm sure you might be online. Oh, not yet. Later, green there online, is it?
It's online.
Oh, hi.
Oh. Why is it red?
I don't know. He's sharing the link. Haven't started yet. 1 more minute.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready anytime.
Can see him or not? Oh, is it? Can you cue me? Oh, hi everyone! Are you here yet? Is anyone there?
Yes.
Oh, hi everyone! My name is 𝕐𝕒𝕦. I'm the community manager here at 𝕍𝕠𝕠𝕨. Welcome to the first episode for 2020. Today I have with me YP from Hoow Foods. He's the CEO and he runs Hoow Foods. Hoow Foods is actually one of our NUS enterprise startup and they are incubated here at the Science Park. So, what is the Science Park and what is Block 71? Science Park and Block 71 are actually initiatives by NUS Enterprise where we incubate early stage startups and help them expand overseas or just to explore the Singapore market. So we take local and also overseas startups. So it's 2020. YP, do you have any resolutions?
Well, thank you for having me here today and very happy New Year to all. What are my resolutions? I guess get fitter, healthier, and build my startup to greater heights. I think we are all Singaporeans, we love to eat, right? And we want to eat healthier food, same for me. So I want to get healthier and I wish everybody good health in this year.
Cool. So for people who are trying to lose weight, can they actually eat your low calorie ice cream and get to their fitness goals, or is it more like still like a dessert kind of thing?
So I think contrary to popular belief, ice cream is always a very unhealthy, indulgent dessert, right? So we want to buck that trend and give Singaporeans, Asians a little version of our own. And that's why, based on our technology, we came up with a new concept of ice cream, which is low-calorie ice cream. So it's kind of like a paradox here, right? Ice cream and healthy, like how does it work, right?
Yeah. So
basically, we reduce the sugar, we reduce the fat, the calorie, and give you the whole works of it. And you can indulge in regular ice cream, yet not having, the negative nutritional profiles of it.
I see. Sounds like a lot of tech that's involved. So maybe let's go back one step and tell me, how do you even get into developing Hoow Foods, and then from Hoow Foods, how do you even decide to come up with a ice cream brand called Calorie, which is a smart play on the word calorie. So
it's pun intended.
Yeah, pun intended.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe a little bit of background on myself and my team. So prior to this, in my previous life, right, I was from the medical pharmaceutical industry. So I was in various commercial roles in the healthcare space. And my co-founders are pharmacists and engineers as well. So we came up with the idea because we realized that there are many therapeutic solutions out there to diseases, particularly metabolic diseases. When I talk about metabolic diseases, you're talking about mainly diabetes and obesity per se. So we realized that in Singapore, diabetes is a huge problem. And ironically, I come from a family with a very strong history of diabetes and cancer. And we realized that there are not many preventive solutions to such metabolic diseases. So food is actually what causes all these things. It's modern day diseases like diabetes that's affecting everyone, and also it's the food that we intake that really affects all these things. And so we embarked on a journey on how can we make food healthier. And why we chose ice cream is basically nobody refuses ice cream, right?
Do you like ice cream?
Of course, I love ice cream. I used to eat a lot of ice cream. Used to, but I exercise as well. So the key is in moderation.
Yeah.
But the thing is that coming from a family with that kind of history, it's very disheartening to see your loved ones not being able to eat anything indulgent or nice. If you go to a doctor and they will tell you that, hey, you cannot eat rice, you cannot eat sugar, you cannot eat all sorts of desserts that you like, or your ice kacang, your chendol, and all these are off the table. It really pains me to see that, and when you have your loved ones having a sweet tooth but they cannot eat anything. So the quality of life actually decreases, and that's our mission at Hoow Foods, right? So we want people to enjoy, to indulge, and at the same time not being guilty or affect the pre-existing conditions. So it not only affects people with diseases or pre-existing conditions, people who want to work hard in the gym, people who don't want to waste their efforts. This is actually a very, very good concept for them as well. So for ice cream, it's a proof of concept of our technology, because ice cream itself is also very complicated as a compound, as a food product, because it has 3 states of matter all gelled in one matrix. You have your air, liquid, solid, all in one. So we want to showcase that in a very complicated product on how we can reduce the seemingly impossible kind of methodology. So so that's why we chose ice cream, and that's how Hoow Foods kind of came about.
Alright. Actually, interestingly, I've been working in the kitchen in the last week. I mean, not working, I just go there and kaypoh and just look at how people make ice cream. I understand that the different components in a gelato or in an ice cream, the number of the percentage of milk substances in a gelato actually changes the composite of it and changes how the texture and whether it solidifies or not. So what is the science in your ice cream that makes it at least healthier and still tastes the same and feels the same, so that it doesn't alter the texture at all?
Okay.
If you can share that.
Yeah, sure, definitely. It's not rocket science, to be honest.
Wait, 2 seconds. Since you brought ice cream, I should eat it first.
Okay, please.
I cannot say that.
You can eat while I talk, right?
I cannot say that the texture is the same without trying. Oh, you have a spoon inside.
Yeah, we can use the
So it looks like that. It looks like, it actually just looks like regular ice cream. So this one is.
It is regular ice cream.
Vanilla bean. So it's 59 calories per serving. So 59 calories per 100 ml.
Correct. Yeah. So your regular serving is always deemed as 100 ml. So what is
it actually tastes the same.
It is the same. It is legally considered as ice cream because of the fat and milk content. So there are food laws governing this, but I won't go into that. So the thing is that, how do we make the calories so low? So to put things into perspective, right? How do we match up to regular premium ice cream?
It's actually quite nice.
It is nice.
I'm not even smoking you. It's
so we use real vanilla beans straight from the farm. So if you cook, you know that you can see the flecks in it. So we buy it straight from the farms in Indonesia. So it's halal and also it's eggless, so it's vegetarian friendly. Yeah. So how do we make the calories low, the sugar low? Is we actually take out most of the sugar content and replace it with a natural sweetener. And we play around with the fat. We take out a lot of the cream and replace it with fiber. So it's actually a high fiber ice cream. It helps with gut digestion and everything. So it's all in one, a low calorie, low fat, low sugar, and high fiber ice cream, and vegetarian friendly because it's eggless. So it's something that the market in Asia has not seen. Actually, low calorie ice cream is very popular in the US. It's one of the best selling ice creams in the US, but the taste profile is not so localized. So that's why we actually wanted to come up with something that's more suitable for the Asian and Singaporean palate.
So just in terms of perspective, perspective-wise, if I ate a regular scoop of ice cream, how many scoops of ice cream, of your ice cream that I can eat, that then it makes it equivalent?
Okay, not naming names, any brands here, but the thing is that a regular premium ice cream, depending on the flavor itself.
Yeah.
For example, for vanilla, right? It's at least 4 times less. So you're talking about 250 to 300 calories per serving for a regular premium ice cream, whereas ours is about 60 calories.
Oh, cool. So even if I want to overindulge and get 2 scoops, I still get less calories than if I were to eat 1 scoop of regular ice cream. Is that right?
Yeah, correct.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So of course, then again, it's always in moderation.
Yes.
Everything that you eat. So yeah, everyone out there, please.
Yeah. So any of you that are heartbroken, I know Valentine's Day is coming, please go and buy like calories ice cream. You can overindulge in this and feel less guilty about it.
Yeah, in fact, in the US, they call this breakup ice cream. So because you can indulge in it and then still not get fat.
That's good. You won't catfish anybody. So, and that note, if you have any questions for YP, please put it in the Facebook comment box and I'll ask it later. So on to the next question. So we talked about ice cream. Have you worked with PS Love? You should work with PS Love. PS Love is one of our Block 71 incubatees as well. They have heat pads for women. So every time, with our menstrual cramps, we also want ice cream because it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, I do know the founders, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you recently had a tie-up with 𝕍𝕠𝕠𝕨. 𝕍𝕠𝕠𝕨 is such a huge conglomerate, right? Everyone knows 𝕍𝕠𝕨.
Yeah.
So how did that happen? Could you tell us more about it?
Yeah, so interestingly, you can see over here we have some of the products that we are collaborating with them. So it all started out because we have this technology, right, to help. Basically, in essence, to sum up in 2 sentences, Hoow Foods is all about R&D, research and developing new novel products that are nutritious for the body, and also the second point is that we do not compromise on taste and texture. So to sum up our technology, that's about it. And it's actually very complicated in the whole process itself.
I would imagine.
Yeah, we actually synergize food science to pharmaceutical science, data science all together to recreate healthier food products. Because it's complicated when different compounds, different ingredients come together in a single matrix and then they interact with each other. So you're talking about molecular compounds, crystallinity, your rheology, your freezing point, melting point, depression, and all these things are all physical chemical properties of food, right? So fast forward, how we dealt with 𝕍𝕠𝕨 was that they had a problem with one of their production plants, and they wanted to improve their products, and they wanted to have more products, and that's where we came in. So we managed to use our system to formulate something that's much healthier and also in a very short amount of time for them. So we developed a joint venture with them initially, and we had a very good working relationship with them. And when we called for our first seed funding, naturally they were starting. They had funds as well, and it was a very strategic and smooth marrying of a relationship here. So it was a very apt, and the timing was great, and that's how we got the lead funding during the seed round.
So how did how long did y'all take to develop a product from the time when they give you their problem statement to you thinking about solutions to actually implementing it? What was the lead time?
It took us about 2 months.
That is really short.
Yeah, so we pride ourselves in the speed to market as well as the speed to actually develop healthier, or not necessarily healthier, but new novel products. So we have a huge repertoire of prototypes in the pipeline that we are rolling out in the near future. So that is the strength of our team, and also based on science. Just to remind you the fact that before founding Hoow Foods, I was from the medical industry, and I had no history, or I can cook, but it's so different from manufacturing food, right?
Yes.
So our team and I, we are all from the medical industry, and we have no prior experience in the F&B industry. So to look at everything in the lens of science, it's something very fresh, and also it gives a different perspective to the food industry.
Which is very cool. So after making ice cream, making coffee, are there other things that you would like to innovate or create?
Yeah, of course. I think one of the principles is that we always want to recreate something in the health and nutrition angle. That is our first priority when we reformulate something, right? One of the very interesting space, and which you will probably know, and probably all viewers will know, is the sustainability food plate, right? We're trying to do something in that space. We're trying to not recreate what others have done, be it plant-based protein, cricket protein, or cell-based meats. We are not going there, but we are trying to come up with solutions to help these companies to be even healthier. So now it's all about sustainable for the environment, right?
Correct.
So we're trying to come up with new novel ideas to help these novel products in the future to be holistically sustainable.
Yes.
So it's not just environment, but it's also human health.
Yeah.
So to us, true sustainability it comes hand in hand.
Yes.
You must make sure the environment is well taken care of, then the human health is well taken care of. If you don't have both, there won't be true sustainability.
Totally
That's how
agree. So from that point, I wanted to lead into the whole food tech ecosystem here in Singapore. So you were, I won't say that you were lucky, but you were lucky.
We were lucky in a
connect
sense.
to 𝕠𝕠𝕨 and help you lead your round of funding. What do you think about the food tech ecosystem here in Singapore? Are there other solutions like you, or I think you did mention a lot of them are in preventive care. We actually have food tech, 𝕠𝕠𝕨. 𝕠𝕠𝕨 Food Tech here that is helping to fight diabetes in Singapore and over the world to reduce sugar levels in food. But what do you think about the ecosystem here? I know in Science Park alone there are many different food tech startups, and you're one of them. Are they like your startup, or are they doing different things?
I think we're all very different, I would say. And of course, kudos to Alan and Berlin from 𝕠𝕠𝕨 Food Tech. They've been one of the pioneers in the field in Singapore, and I think they are very lonely in a sense when a couple of years back, and now I'm very heartened to see that there are really, like you mentioned, there are many more food tech companies coming up. But I think everybody has its day. Everybody has their own niche that they are focusing on, and there is no one company right now that can profess to say that I will beat everyone. And I'm a pure believer in collaboration, and also the market is always big enough for everyone, especially in food. It's such a primary necessity in all of us.
It's the love of Singapore.
Yeah, exactly. It's not only the love, we need food to survive, right? So it's such a basic need for all humans, and that's why I think it can only grow. And the ecosystem here is actually it has been one of the hottest trends in the startup scene for the past 2-3 years, which is very good for all of us. And I think ecosystem-wise, we have much more to learn.
Do you think Singapore is the strongest, or which are the stronger nations
I would not say that we are the strongest, but neither we are the weakest. I think SFA, HPB, they're doing a lot to actually boost the food tech ecosystem. They are very inclusive, and also I think very receptive towards new novel ingredients, and also passing off certain laws. And I think that's the mark of a progressive ecosystem, and we cannot progress if all these regulatory frameworks are not amended according to what the needs of the people, right? But I think notable mentions, ecosystem that we could learn and also work towards is, I would say the Israeli ecosystem, the US ecosystem. Of course, there have been Silicon Valley has been the forerunners in with Impossible Food, Beyond Meat, cricket powder, and Memphis Mints. I mean, these guys, by virtue of the fact that they are in a big country and a big market, naturally they have the upper hand. And Singapore is a small market, unfortunately. Unfortunately, and fortunately, I think for us, we have a very good ecosystem backed by ESG, backed by EDB,
and NUS Enterprise.
And NUS Enterprise, of course. Right. And I'm really encouraged by the fact that we have a lot of good pillars of support, helping food tech to grow. And I think in the next 2 to 3 years, even 5 years down the road, it will only continue to grow. And as our insatiable appetite for good food, quality food, right, increases, I think it will grow. It definitely will grow.
Definitely. There's this Netflix film on Game Changers. Do you watch it?
Yes, Game Changers. Yes, I did.
What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think it made me go vegan for a week.
How do you feel after that week of being a vegan?
To be honest, I would deem myself a flexitarian.
What does that actually mean?
Well, flexitarian is a new term to coin people who don't mind going on a vegan diet, but they cannot give up their meat as well.
Yeah.
So I'm a Wagyu lover. So it will take a while for me to change. And right now, plant-based protein, they are more means type. So there are a lot of many Asian cuisines that you cannot apply to. But of course, in the future, I'm sure there will be more of such things. And just last week in Vegas, Impossible Food just came out with Impossible Pork instead of beef.
Interesting to try.
Yeah.
I actually did try the Beyond Meat and the Impossible Meat, and they actually taste quite good.
Yeah.
It's not for the price point. I think it's easy to switch over, but the price point is no.
Yeah, I think with economies of scale and then when production costs go down, they will be more affordable.
Understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to corporate innovation. So, Hoow Foods work with Killiney, and I don't know, for me, for F&B to have corporate innovation, that's just like mind-blowing, right? You hear SIA doing corporate innovation, you hear like, yeah, but this is like a so traditional industry, and having Hoow Foods and working with Killiney, that's like, whoa, how did that even happen? So for other like food tech startups, they are trying to engage corporates to perform some innovation. Do you have any like advice for them, or what are the ways they can engage with corporates, or how to make this happen, or what as an ecosystem enabler like NUS Enterprise, what more should we do so that it's easier for startups to actually work with corporates to find better solutions that are more sustainable for the future?
I think that's a very, very good question. It's always a perpetual question, right?
Yeah.
In my head as well. Because it's not so easy. I mean, entrepreneurs out there, people from the MNCs, it's not so simple to just say that, okay, I can marry both sets of ideals and agendas and then happily, come up with something. It always takes a long while to even have anything coming out to fruition, right? Coming from MNC background, from myself, in my earlier part of my career, I've been both sides of the coin, and I can safely say that this is a very, very challenging task for a lot of companies. But I have been observing that a lot of big companies are very more receptive. Much more receptive towards working with startups nowadays, because startups are the game changers, and startups are disrupting markets that are usually dominated by the bigger players. And I think the bigger companies know that, and they cannot say that I'll buy up everybody, right? That's impossible. So I think to work together, that is the fastest way of achieving a certain type of synergy that can come out to the market in the fastest possible way with the least amount of resources spent. I think it's a two-way thing. I won't say that I have any advice, but I would say that one of the something that I would like to see is MNCs taking the lead to actually reach out to startups a bit more, and I think the red tape and the bureaucratic processes should be simplified before speaking to startups. Because when you speak, I mean, I understand all the IPs and whatnot that are embedded very deeply into MNCs, right? I mean, they are huge conglomerates.
Yes,
so the thing that it was a joy working, it is a joy working with some a big business like 𝕍𝕠𝕠𝕨, because they were very open about their processes, and there was mutual trust.
Yes.
Of course, it builds up over time, but they were very willing to try new things. They are very forward-thinking. The bosses are very forward-thinking, and I think that is something that the MNCs need to adopt. A lot of them are very watchful and very fearful of I mean, espionage or whatever. I mean, maybe it's too strong a word, but I can understand their concerns as well. But I think there must be a certain level of trust, and also a certain level of openness to work with startups, which I feel that can be improved.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, a lot of MNCs don't understand that startups really bully one, you know. You don't pay us for 1 month means like
So you have to
for 1 month.
That's a really good point, because startups is always a chicken and egg problem, right? Like you say, bully, and we are always in a fight for cash flow. We are always in a fight for survival. We might have very good ideas. We might have very good concepts and technology that even MNCs might not have. But in the end of the day, it's all about survival. Initially, when you reach out to the big company, they can drag on for maybe a few months or 2 years, and the company is still generating good revenue and cash flows. But as a startup, you cannot wait for 2 years, right? You cannot wait for even 6 months. You might run out of cash, and what happens to that? And I think MNCs should be sensitive to that. And if that true collaboration were to take place, both sides must be very aware of the expectations before going into it. So I've seen a lot of good potential synergies, potential collaborations, but in the end of the day, it didn't fall through. It fell through because it didn't work out because of such issues.
Yeah, so I mean, there is a gap, right? We always need ecosystems and enabler to really connect and bridge the startups and MNCs so that everyone's on the same page and things actually do happen. And we will do that. So thanks for being insightful for experience. Not yet.
We're not done.
We have some questions from the public, so I'm just going to ask. Let's start with the simple one. Is your ice cream dairy free?
No, we are not dairy free. Not dairy free. It's because I mean, we have formulations for dairy free ice cream, but we want to start with dairy based ice cream because that is something that most Singaporeans more prefer. Of course, when
the mass market and
exactly, and we have plans to expand overseas, and if depending on the geography of it, we might come up with dairy-free products.
I understand. So the second question, also related to the ice cream, is it suitable for diabetics?
We are not officially approved. I mean, I'm obliged to say that by regulatory speak. We are not officially approved for diabetics, but given the amount of sugar, the amount of fat and calorie, it is definitely friendly to diabetics. My entire house, my dad's diabetic, my uncles are diabetic. So basically,
with moderation.
Yeah, with moderation, they're allowed to eat this. And that's the only ice cream I have at home. And it tastes like ice cream, right?
Yeah. So I mean, you should just buy and try it for yourself and test it. I don't know if you have this component in your ice cream, but erythritol?
Yeah, erythritol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any concerns for long-term consumption of erythritol?
Okay, if you can, so why we chose erythritol? Okay, it's a bit of nerd speak here. Erythritol is a natural polyol, which is also under a class of substitute sweeteners called sugar alcohol.
Yeah.
So it's not it just has an OH group at the back of the compound, right?
Yeah.
It's not alcohol.
Yes.
So it's not your liquor or beer or whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't get you drunk. So it's a polyol, natural polyol. That why we chose this is because there are many clinical papers and scientific papers to back that this type of sugar alcohol is very tolerable to the gut and it's extremely safe. So we have, if you want to have more information, you can check out our website. We have a list of scientific papers that are cited. Erythritol, it's something that has been, it was, if I'm not wrong, invented by the Japanese and in the 1990s. So it's something that in the past, because of the manufacturing processes, it was not mass produced.
Yeah.
And only in 20 years later, people start to see the benefits of erythritol, and they got more mainstream. And then
so it acts as a probiotic, or?
No, it's a substitute sweetener that has 0
okay.
calories. So it tastes like sugar, but it doesn't give you the calories. So best of both.
How is it different from the stevia, the one in
Oh, you're a food scientist there.
the Liho, no, even
Stevia,
yes.
So stevia glycoside is also a natural substitute sweetener, but it's a high intensity sweetener. So stevia is maybe about 70 to 100 times sweeter than sugar. But whereas erythritol is only 70% as sweet as sugar. So you see the difference? Yeah. So stevia is a high intensity sweetener, but some forms of stevia has a metallic aftertaste that many people don't like. So but erythritol doesn't have that. Yeah. But the difference between both of them and sugar is that they behave very differently. Like I mentioned, in a matrix itself, in a food matrix itself, when you take out sugar and you replace it with something else, it's very different. The melting point, the freezing point, the hardness levels, everything changes.
Yeah.
Sugar does wonders for food,
Yes.
and it gives you the high and everything. But all this
Terrible for the body.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So I'm just going to ask you one last question, maybe two last questions. People are still asking, are there other healthy options in the pipeline? Are there healthy food that we can look forward to?
Yeah. Okay. So one of the very interesting thing that we are working on is actually our fat replacement technology. So to put things into context, we made eggless mayonnaise. So we make eggless mayonnaise that tastes like mayonnaise. I don't have a prototype here, but I can show you sometime later. But not only that, I mean, eggless vegan mayonnaise is not new. There's a couple of companies that in America that's done it already. But we managed to reduce the fat by 70%. So take your QP, take your best food, and compare it. It tastes exactly like the QP Japanese one.
Sure not.
But without the fat. Yeah. So figure that. So basically, truly sustainable, healthy mayo sandwich or whatever.
Yeah. Dubious, but yes, I think the best way to know is to taste yourself. I mean, I can't be a validator of the ice cream. I just have one question. Is it the same price as a normal pint of outside ice cream?
That's always that's always a touchy, situation. But yes, we are slightly more premium than your usual ice creams. But if I'm not wrong, the retail price in fair price right now is $14.90, which is not too far from Haagen-Dazs or Ben & Jerry's when they don't belong,
Yeah, it's not too far. Actually, I know there's a vegan shop in Tanglin Mall. They sell $18 a pint. So actually, this is pretty reasonable.
Yeah, and we are made in Singapore.
Yeah.
So we hope that in the future we could reduce our cost, because cost is high as well.
Yes.
Honestly, the margins are pretty tight on this. But to come up with ice cream is more of a, I would say, a public service as well,
Yeah.
and also to show Singaporeans that, hey, we have homegrown companies that can do what other food tech companies can do, and
Yes.
we have our own talents as well. So hopefully in the future this will be more affordable to all, and I do appreciate the sensitivity of the market when it comes to pricing for such foods. Yeah.
Cool. So I think that's all we have for today. Do we have more? Do you have a question? Oh, we still have questions.
Okay, keep it rolling.
Yes. What is the most fulfilling thing in your startup journey?
Oh, that's I think what is the most fulfilling thing? I can't stress this enough, but I think to bring, so this is, to put things in context, this is not my first startup.
Yes.
In fact, this is my fourth startup. So
What was
I
number 1, number 2, number 3?
was always in healthcare, so I was doing my own distribution and then my own manufacturing of medical products. Obviously it didn't work out for my previous two. I exited in one. So that was my first startup. So Hoow Foods was my fourth, and I think to bring a startup from nothing, Calories was born out of a Kopi Chat as well.
Oh,
my
really?
co-founder Sherman, and basically we were like thinking, how can we call our ice cream? Then it's like, oh, low calorie. Oh, okay, pun intended, and we came up with this. So the thing is that to build something from scratch, to build something from nothing which never existed 6 months prior to conception, is, I think, the most fulfilling thing that you can ever have as a founder of a company. And Hoow Foods itself, slightly less than 1.5 years ago, you probably would not hear of us at all. And through collaborations, through expansion, through strategic partners, I think that is something that we have done pretty okay in the past year or so. And looking back,
I think it's more than pretty okay. It's super amazing that two, don't mind my language, nerds from a lab came up with an ice cream, made flavors, branded the ice cream, managed to get into supermarkets, Redmart, and fair price. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, it's hell of work. So I always like to tell people that one of crazy experiences that I had was I had to go out to Changi Ferry Jetty to collect one of our 100 kg shipments of Belgian chocolate shipped from the source. And within a 2 hours time, I was, after lugging everything myself to our small warehouse, I had to suit up and go for a media interview after that. So it's transiting from a construction worker mode to co-founder, CEO in front of the media. So it's pretty crazy when you look back and look at it.
It's
But
the
of
things
course,
people don't see, right?
yeah, exactly.
They think you just magically appear.
No, we don't. It's a lot of sweat, blood, and tears. Okay, not so much blood, but a lot of tears, that really.
A lot
put
of
into
nights
this.
eating your own ice cream, feeling bad but not so guilty because it's low calorie.
Exactly. And startup journeys are never easy. What you see is always the glamorous side of things, but so much sacrifices have gone into this before you can even show it out to the world. So I think as real as it gets, this is my greatest satisfaction, I guess. Yeah.
Cool. Let me see. Last one. Is this suitable for vegans? I don't think so because it's not
it's dairy.
free.
It's dairy.
It's dairy.
So although it's eggless, so we made it eggless. So
it's good for vegetarians.
Yeah.
But not for vegans.
Correct.
Yeah.
Vegan will. By changing out dairy, it will change a lot of the taste profile of the ice cream itself. Although we know of certain companies in the West that came up with vegan ice cream that claims to be as good as dairy. I mean, I can't wait to try it as well.
Yeah.
The price point and everything, it's also a big question.
Yeah. I will go into it, but I will not go into it. Every time you change a component in the ice cream, the cost changes, and then your overall cost will change. So if to achieve the same texture of a dairy ice cream and a non-dairy ice cream, that is like, dude, you gotta pay the price. Is all I'm going to say.
Unfortunately, you know.
Yeah. So, last entrepreneur question for the day. What advice do you have for those in their 20s who dream of being an entrepreneur but haven't taken the step to venture out?
Well, I'm not somebody who like to dish out advice because I'm still learning and growing myself.
Yeah.
But I can share my experiences, right?
Wait, I asked first.
Yeah, sure.
So did you like wake up one day when you were 14 and then you knew that you're gonna be an entrepreneur?
Wait,
or you
40s?
Like no, 40 when you were 14.
Oh, I'm 14.
When you were a kid,
Okay.
you were like, I am going to be a businessman, or this will develop over time, and then after that you can come with the advice.
Okay, to answer your question first, when I was 14, I was playing ℍ𝕠𝕠𝕨 and I was playing. Okay, that's my.
We are the same generation.
No, then you know poison ball lah. You know, I was playing football, soccer.
I hang out at Sydney one.
Okay, you more atas.
Yes.
Yeah, so for me, you know, when I was 14, obviously I had my teenage problems as well. You know, I was a bad student and everything like that. But I was always very inquisitive, and I always dared to challenge. But at that point in time, I didn't know that I wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I mean, kudos to those who started their first company when they're 18 or 16. I mean, that's another level of maturity.
Yeah.
But as a kid, I really didn't know what I want to do. It's only when I was in college, then I really knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. But the journey itself, it's not just in the snap of a finger. It's never something that you wake up and realize that you want to be an entrepreneur, right? Basically it's a journey itself. So I realized that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I did not have the tools, I did not have the experience to do it. So I figured out that I needed some stability in my life first. So one experience that I could share is that I think aspiring entrepreneurs have to sort themselves out first before starting a journey, embarking on it. It means financially, emotionally. Do not be sucked into the whole glamorous life of an entrepreneur. It's never about the glitz, and it's pretty much most of the time it's hyped up. I mean, that's as real as it gets, and it's through my working experience, and a lot of luck is involved, and a lot of opportunities. So I think you should open up yourself to as many networking opportunities, meet as many people, and one important thing that I think this can be an advice, don't be an asshole. I mean, I think you got to be nice to everyone that you see. Respect your elders, respect people as individuals, and always be good to people. And because as an entrepreneur, you're not just an island alone. Don't believe in the fact that one man can do it all. It's impossible. I am nothing without my team, and I am nothing without the people beside me. So the thing is that, and if you are an asshole, nobody will help you, and that is something that I think resonates very strongly with me when I was younger, and I guess it helped me along the way. I'm not the smartest, neither I'm the most hardworking person on the planet, and I will not even say that I am successful. I'm still growing, I'm still learning, and I'm still absorbing everything like a sponge from everyone around me. So I think this is the best advice I can give to aspiring people, entrepreneurs, and always enjoy the journey. If you are too fixated on the outcome, sometimes you forgot what you're trying to aim for.
On that note, we shall thank everyone for joining us
Yeah.
today. Thank you for being part of our first episode of Kopi Chat Da Bao and being so enthusiastic with the questions. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you so much,
YP.
Xin Yan Kuai Le, everybody.
Yes, so if you have more questions for YP, check out their website. It's Hoow Foods.
.com.
H-O-O-W.
FOODS.com.
Why double O? Is it like the oxygen double bond thing or?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I never thought of that. So my surname is OW, right? And my co-founder, his surname is ℍ𝕠𝕠𝕨. And then we realized that, Whole Foods did pretty well in the US, right? And yeah, something catchy, and then we just amalgamated everything together.
Okay, so if you're thinking about a name, maybe look at your own name and you'll come
Yeah,
up with
that's a
something
good one.
interesting.
Yeah, but the double one was good.
I really thought it was molecular.
Yeah. Are you sure you're not a nerd as well?
I never said I'm not.
Okay.
Cool. So yes, for more Kopi Chat Da Baos to get updates on our events, please like our Facebook page and also like our Instagram page at ℍ𝕠𝕠𝕨 Singapore. You can also follow NUS Enterprise if you want to know more about what is happening at QE, what's happening at 𝕍𝕠𝕠𝕨, and what's happening at ℍ𝕠𝕠𝕨 all over the world. So San Francisco, Indonesia, Vietnam coming up soon, and also Suzhou. So yes, go and like our Facebook page and Instagram page, and we'll see you in the next episode. The next one will be with Jonathan from Unliving on the first week of February. Keep in touch. Okay, bye.
Bye.